does manifestation never work? Are you trying to manifest something but can't seem to detach from the outcome? Have you heard that you mustn't be too attached to a particular result? That you must remain detached? That you need to let go of wanting for the thing you're desperately trying to create? As you may have discovered, this is often easier said than done. I'm Genevieve Davis, best-selling author of Becoming Magic, and I show people how to use magic to create an exceptional life. And in this short video, I'm going to share one of my favourite techniques for letting go of attachment to the outcome of your manifestation attempts. By learning to let go, you'll enter what I've often called the receiving state. This is that lovely state of wanting for nothing that seems to allow all your desires to come to you. Now, I call this technique the worst case scenario technique. The technique I'm explaining actually comes from my third book on magic, Advanced Magic. And if you want to know more, just check this book out at Amazon. You know, I've lost count of how many times this strategy has worked. It's something I use every time I publish a new book, and I used it to acquire my dream car, an Aston Martin DB7. And I've now used it twice to apparently even get the election result I wanted. It sounds impossible, doesn't it? But it happened. Okay, onto the technique itself. Now, all the books tell us that a vital stage of the manifestation process is the letting go part. If we don't manage to stay unattached to the outcome, our manifestation attempts don't always work. I even tell people this myself in my own books. Wanting is the opposite of having, I like to say. But how are you supposed to do this? How can you let go of wanting something? How can you not be attached? I mean, how can you not want something you want? Well, this technique is one of my very favourite ways of doing just that. So let's try this right now. First of all, think of the outcome you want. What are you trying to create or manifest? It might be having some particular object, a car, a house, or a sum of money. Or it could be a situation or an event that you'd like to see happen. Next, now rather than thinking about how much you want it, I want you instead to imagine the worst case scenario, that it never happens, that you never get what you want. And I want you to find a way to be okay with that. Use your imagination here and think of all the ways in which it will actually be fine if you don't get what you want. Think of all the ways you'll actually be fine if the very worst happens. Now, expecting the worst does not mean sitting around and wondering and fretting about what might happen. Expecting the worst means looking the worst case scenario full in the face, thinking of the consequences, and finding a way to be okay with that. By doing this in a calm and considered way, you are, in effect, saying that you're absolutely fine with anything that may happen. You're okay with the worst, the best, and everything else in between. Everything is okay, no matter what. Now, can you see what happens when you do this? Without even realising, by being okay with all eventualities, you've now let go of some of that attachment to the outcome. And if you do this well enough, those worst case scenarios will never find their way into your life. Now, at this point, you're already halfway there, and you could just stop here. But I'm now going to give you a simple trick to really power things up. Something that will push you into the realms of really doing magic. Because now, I want you to think of a way in which it would actually be better if the worst case scenario happens. Now, you might have to think about this a bit, but persevere. Think of all the ways it would actually be better if you never got the thing you're trying to create. Why would it be better that that situation never happened? Use your imagination. Think of just one thing that would be better if you never got the thing you want. And when that idea pops into your mind, instantly the real letting go happens. You are now doing magic. You are now in the receiving state. You are now open to all the infinite possibilities in the universe. And the more open to possibilities you are, the more likely you'll get the outcome you want. So just to summarise, to become unattached to a particular outcome, think of what you want, Imagine the worst case scenario that you never get it and find a way to be okay with that. And finally, think of a way, one way, any way, in which it would actually be better if the worst case scenario occurred and you never got what you want. Did it work? Let me know what you think in the comments below.